Alright, hello everyone and welcome to MTU Esports. Today our MTU Huskies Valorant team will be taking on Harrisburg University in the Playfly League. I'm Chris, I will be joined by
Jacob Kuhn.
and we will be the casters for today's match. To start off, for the start of the MTU team, our captain is Henry, also known as QWERTY UIOP, followed by John or Nkang, Shupra or Shoop, Mason and Sting, or Aiden or Super Electronic. For the other team of Harrisburg University, we have the captain Ian, followed by Emeros, Hey It's Taunt, Huso, and ESN. Now, as we get ready for the game to start, we'll be going into Haven when it pops up, and on Haven, it's a 3-point map. We're going to be looking at points A, B, and C. With Valorant, it is a plant/defuse the bomb sort of game. So right now we have Harrisburg University starting on defense and Michigan Tech University starting on offense. As the game gets going here, we will be looking for. We're going to be looking at MTU trying to get a bomb plant, maybe some sort of push going on one of the 3 points. Then from the Harrisburg side, we see some basic cipher setups being set up on point C. And let's get this going.
All right. Like MTU's pushing middle here towards B.
Heavy util. Omen using his blind in his orb there. QWERTY already having pushed onto site with the Sova. Taking trades. And a fast team wipe for Harrisburg University, taking the first round. It was an interesting game plan from MTU today. They tried to do a really fast take on B site. Usually you wouldn't see that fast of a hit, but maybe their game plan today is try and move a little bit faster, give the other team less time to rotate from the other sites and get to where they're trying to attack.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their plan was, but earlier in this week they had a rough loss, so maybe they're trying to bounce back and change their strategy a little bit, go a little bit quicker. But we'll see what happens.
All right, once again, we see 3 people from Harrisburg University starting on the B site, expecting the B take again from Michigan Tech. Michigan Tech doing a 5-man take into garage here, looking to swing out onto the C site. They are all blinded. Ian getting 2 quick trades. And another fast team wipe from Harrisburg.
That was a very aggressive push again by MTU. Maybe they're just saving, trying to get the round done with for next round.
Yeah, I would kind of expect that in this scenario. The way Valorant works is that after each round, you can get, if winning the previous round will get you more money, and more money you can spend on better guns. Or if you keep losing rounds in a row, you'll gain more money that way as a way, sort of a comeback mechanic. So after you lose the first round, usually you'll end up losing the second because the other team has better guns. But now, Michigan Tech on a full buy with the best guns, best armor they can really get. And we'll see what their plan of attack is today. Alright, they're starting slow, not trying to do the fast take that hasn't worked the past 2 rounds. I do like this start, but Harrisburg with the Neon pushing really close in Huso, trying to get an early pick.
I do like the early smoke from Harrisburg. Stops MTU from really pushing in there.
Still MTU trying to play it slow. Now they're looking to swing into this A site where we have 4 players standing. Huso and Arjet taking a quick gunfight. No one's dead because of it. They're still just clearing towards site. Huso getting the first pick. ESN getting another one.
MTU trying to set up util, making it hard. Down 2 right now.
Sting gets a pick, but then gets picked off again. Only 1 person alive, and Harrisburg again with another clean round. Not the greatest start for Michigan Tech, but I think there's a way that they can bring it back. They just have to find their momentum here.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the stacking strategy is going too well. We'll see if they change it up here. Maybe do a default 2-1-2.
Right here.
And then for those that don't know, 2-on-2 is we call it a default because in Valorant it's pretty common to send 2 people onto like the left or like towards C point, 1 into B or then 2 into A, or some sort of combination along those lines to try and just get information on where the other team's playing at. MTU doing a really fast, sending 5 people really fast into on A site again through sewers. I'm gonna get a TP across. Maybe you can find a pick. Silvadart coming in, finding a pick onto Cypher.
Gets a kill through the smoke from Harrisburg.
Extremely good kills here. Harrisburg with another clean sweep of a round. All things considered, it's not a great look for Michigan Tech, but as I said earlier with like the economy in this game, Michigan Tech does not have as much money right now as Harrisburg, so their weaponry isn't going to be as good, meaning it's going to be harder for them to win. But give them a couple rounds, they should have their money back, and I think there's a way that we can get some early picks again for Michigan Tech.
You never know. Me personally, I like the defense because you just have to stop them from planning. So maybe that's what MTU's waiting for here.
I could agree with that. I've always personally found defense to be easier than attack, but that might just be me. All right, so going back to like that 2-1-2 split we had talked about earlier, it looks like MTU trying to like split their players up a little bit, get a little bit more info before they try and do a take onto a site.
Harrisburg going for an aggressive push up to the middle. I'm not sure if MTU knows about that.
Yeah, we have the Yoru in Hey It's Taunt standing in the middle right next to Michigan Tech spawn, but it doesn't seem like Michigan Tech is sending any players this direction, so it might not actually work out for Harrisburg. All right, MTU looking, they started to look on A. SpongeBob with a pick onto Huso. This is the first pick for MTU. Traded back for 4v4 here.
Omen's ulting on the point.
MTU walking onto the C site here now that they have intel. Unfortunately gets picked off by Ian on an off angle. Ian gets another here. Good pick from Shoop.
Now it's a 1v2 for Michigan Tech.
Super Electronic is on the flank here. There is a good chance that he could find a pick here and force it into a 1v1.
It is too bad the bomb is down, so they just can camp that, but we'll see what he does.
Unfortunate, but that was a nice shot by the Sova, expecting the flank angle there, having his crosshair in the correct spot. But that round looked a lot better for Michigan Tech here. Harrisburg playing this immaculately. But Michigan Tech started rough. They're starting to find more kills. If they keep progressing the way they are right now, they can definitely win this game still.
Yeah. It was nearly a one-on-one there at the end because the Sova only had like 10 HP. So they're doing better and better.
All right, once again, MTU's looking for the splits with 2 people starting on A, 2 people looking B, and then 1 person on C to try and get 2 people on C, excuse me, to try and get scouting.
Sova with the dart trying to get early util. I don't think he sees anything.
Looking at Jet pushing really aggressive into the mid here. So's the Cypher in Super Electronic. Ian with another 2 early kills. This guy's on fire right now. Harrisburg Sova using his ult to try and shoot like large arrows through the walls and try and get a pick, but MTU survives.
Yeah, it's very hard to push when Cypher has all of his setups because you hit a tripwire and he knows where you're at. That's exactly how Ian played that.
Michigan Tech playing this a little bit slow. Now looking for a swing on the point to try and find some miracle kills. Sting gets 1, but SpongeBob is traded. Super Electronic getting 2 picks here. And it wasn't looking great, but Michigan Tech did find the kills before the Neon on Harrisburg got the refrags and won the round for them. Harrisburg up 6-0 to in the first half of their attack, or their defense, excuse me here. Not a great look for Michigan Tech, but defense is all, specifically on Haven, the map currently, has always been particularly strong, especially with the characters that Harrisburg chose, as they are very hard to try and push into.
Yeah, I think Tech is starting to get an understanding. I think they're changing it up here, going with the 5-stack towards A site.
Alright, Sova using his recon dart to try and mark and see where the enemies are playing in Harrisburg.
A lot of early rotates from Harrisburg, so there's going to be 4 on site.
It looks like it's going to be a massive brawl on A site here. Of all of 5 players from MTU and 4 players from Harrisburg. But Harrisburg getting the first 3 picks again.
Twitch Wodo with the 2K.
Shoop in the Omen using his ult to teleport behind the team. Finds a pick on the Neon and Huso. Still has the flank here. Okay, will he be able to find the kills to win this round? Here's one rotating through the defender spawn. Unfortunately loses the gunfight. And then a SpongeBob and the Jet gets swung by 2 players. Not a great situation there. Very hard to win that.
Yeah, Harrisburg players are going pretty crazy. They're just going out mechanicking them right now, just getting their own kills. I'm noticing two kills every fight from at least one person.
Harrisburg mechanical skill and their aim is just extremely strong right now. There's definitely a way if the way it's playing out right now, MTU isn't really winning these gunfights. So they need to find a way to play as a team and stop trying to take these 1v1 duels. If they can find a way to get 5 or maybe find 2 people against 1, that's an advantage that you always want to try and find. It can easily win you rounds.
Traded mid here. MTU's up 1.
Yeah, QWERTY and Sting both finding early kills. The Jet and Harrisburg is sitting close trying to find a pick. Does get one. Or Neon, excuse me.
Chaos on B site.
And Ian with another triple kill. He's just playing incredibly strong, incredibly well right now. He's always finding the kills that his team needs to win these rounds. MTU just needs to find a way to get onto site and stop him from killing 3 every fight at this point.
I know I've said this a lot, but especially with the Cypher comp on defense, it's a lot more significant because those tripwires are coming to play a lot more.
Yeah, the way it's, so for those that don't know, Cypher's kit, he basically likes to set tripwires that when an opponent walks into them, will basically mark where they're at through walls, so then he can see like what the tripwire, or see who hit the tripwire.
That's his camera right there.
Yeah, so Cypher can also create a camera that allows him to look at sites, so he can easily see where people are at without having to show himself, which can give a really good surprise factor in winning these duels. Unfortunately, MTU is already down 1, but it's still a 4v5. 4v5s are very winnable, specifically in games like this, where it's a 1 shot to a head can kill someone.
MTU's Owen pushing through the smoke here.
Shoop's getting really aggressive. Will he be able to find the flank on this player on B site? It looks like he might be able to. Gets 1. Can he get the second? Unfortunately gets traded, but he does go 1 for 1, which is not bad by any means. MTU looking aggressive onto A site here. Gets traded. Can they find the pick to trade it back? We're in a 2v4 situation for MTU. They have to walk into 3 players. They get swung, gets the trade, but unfortunately MTU loses the gunfight again because 2 players just can't beat 3 swinging at the same time.
Harrisburg is really good about rotating their players to where MTU's at. I noticed it's always a fair or a better fight for them because they have more players on site when MTU's pushing in.
Yeah, if I was in Michigan Tech's shoes right now, I'd be trying to send maybe 3 people on one site and 2 people through, or so maybe send 3 people onto A or C, send 2 people middle through B, try and find a sort of a pincer attack on this Harrisburg defense, just to see if they can find these kills. Look at Omen looking aggressive, swinging a mid, takes a lot of damage, gets picked off early. Not a great start for Michigan Tech because they're already into a 4v5. But it looks like they're trying to take an aggressive swing onto A. Will it work out? Yoru spraying through the Omen smoke and finding multiple kills. The Omen picking up multiple kills, and just like that, it's another flawless win from Harrisburg.
Yeah, Harrisburg's team play and mechanics are doing very good right now. Even if they can't hit their shots, they always play with the team, and that's how they win.
Yeah, Valorant, once again, it's a team-based game. If one player is playing bad, if the other team can, or your teammates can very easily pick up the slack. You just kind of have to keep playing with them. And right now, Harrisburg's players all playing well. They're playing extremely well together as a team, and it's just making it extremely hard for Michigan Tech to find these plays, as they're not really finding many mistakes that Harrisburg's making currently. Once again, MTU trying to look towards this A site. It's getting to the point where I'm kind of realizing that this is the strong site. Shoop finding a pick onto Ian in the, looks like TP'd onto B, but he gets traded back. But that forces a 4v4, and Ian's been doing extremely good. So that's a very good pick for MTU here.
Huso on the flank. I'm not sure if MTU knows. Jet dashes the point. Very aggressive play here.
Sting gets down because with his ult, when he gets hit, he will be down instead of killed. Will MTU be able to get the res off on him? They will not. Huso's flank gets another.
Now the bomb is down with a sniper looking at it, so it might be hard. 1v2 situation.
Can SpongeBob find the trade here and force the 1v1? He does. Now he's in a 1v1. Both of them are on site here. It's just going to be kind of a shootout. SpongeBob knows where he's at. They both know where each other are at. It's just going to come down to who can outmaneuver or find that shot first. Playing a slow game. I like this. Trying to see or trying to make Huso on the Neon think that he's trying to flank here, possibly through the other side of A. Takes a swing, finds the gunfight, and that's the first round win for MTU. Extremely well played by SpongeBob to win that 1v2.
Last round in the half.
And just like that, MTU, because of that round pickup, their economy is back in the game as they are getting a lot of money from that round win. So just like that, they should all have full guns. And once again, if they play as they just did now, they can still make a comeback, even if it's a 1st to 13 game and Harrisburg is only 3 points off.
And this is their last round on attack here, so then they change it up a little, go to defense. See how things go from there.
For all we know, maybe MTU is a really strong defense and Harrisburg is a really weak offense. And so this could still very well play out in MTU's favor. It's just going to be a very hard matchup. Shoop already getting picked off. The Super Electronic also getting picked off. Harrisburg up 2 kills already. Cordy finding a kill back. Sting's instantly traded, so we're in a 2v4 for Michigan Tech here. Swings mid and Ian picks up the 1v2 again. This guy is extremely, extremely good.
Yeah.
Switching sides.
All right, unfortunately, Michigan Tech is down 11-1, sort of at like what you call the halfway mark as a side switch. But now they're on defense. Maybe they're really, the way that their team comp is set up is going to be extremely hard for Harrisburg to try and walk into them, as they have a lot of utility that makes it hard for Harrisburg to walk forward. But Harrisburg, on the counter side, has a lot of characters that like to go fast, like to go forward, and really good at attacking. So it's kind of going to be an even mix on how this game's going to play out.
I think if MTU looks for early rotates before Harrisburg can get on site, they'll be in good shape here.
I agree. So we see a 2-1-2 split, or 2-2-1 split actually. We have MTU has 2 players starting on C, 2 on B, 1 on A. We're gonna see what Harrisburg tries to do. Looks like they're sending 4 people onto C into our setup.
Hard C rush here.
MTU getting 1 pick, instantly traded. MTU in a 2v3. That was a very fast coordinated swing by Harrisburg, picking up those kills. And just like that, it's now a 1v4 for Cypher, and now because the bomb is planted by Harrisburg, he has to retake, and he's just not able to make it in a 1v4. And just like that, Harrisburg is on match point for game 1.
That was a great coordinated push by Harrisburg. They all swung at the same time with blinds and smokes, and MTU really couldn't do anything with only 2 people on site there.
Yeah, not a great start to the defense for MTU, as they just weren't prepared for the 4-man swing through C. And it looks like Harrisburg might be trying to do that again. So maybe MTU can set up either to look for a retake where they start off of C and try to take a 5v5 back onto it, or start really heavy on it and try to stop Harrisburg from getting onto the site. Hoop starting in a garage here.
Another hard C push.
Looking to swing out. Realizes he's not going to get anything. Tries to be out. Gets picked. MTU in a 3v5 already. Super Electronic looking for a wall, or looking through a kill through the smoke. Unable to get. They're going to try and swing garage into Ian. Ian picks up 1. They get the trade. It's now a 1v4, and just like that, Harrisburg takes game 1.
Harrisburg made some amazing mechanical plays along with the team plays there at the end.
Harrisburg just played extremely well that game, taking a dominant 13-1 on the first game. Not a great start for MTU. Hopefully, after this little break between maps, they can figure out a strategy, figure out a map that's going to fit their play style, and they can come back and get this win. All right, and
are you a tech student? Do you need to be close to campus? We have places for that. Find the perfect location. Live where you want to live. HoughtonForRent.com.
And now on the stream, you can see the current schedule for Michigan Tech. On Monday, the MTU League of Legends team took on University of North Carolina Chapel Hill and took a close 2-1 victory. Great start. On Tuesday, Michigan Tech Rocket League takes a 3-0 win over University of St. Thomas. On Wednesday, yesterday, MTU Overwatch got a 3-0 win over Kennesaw State in dominant fashion. Currently, we have the Valorant game going on. Tomorrow, we have a Super Smash Bros. Game between Michigan Tech and University of Akron. And on Saturday, Michigan Tech got a forfeit win over Illinois College. So that is a win that we are happy to take because wins are wins.
It's looking good this week for Michigan Tech. Now, if this Valorant team can pull through and get these next few maps, it'll be even better.
Yeah, but now we're going to try and change it back to that Valorant because I feel like there's a lot that Michigan Tech can talk through here. It was a pretty rough start. The Harrisburg was just better at finding their first kills, and first kills mean a lot because you get put in an advantage of a position. And so I'm guessing if I'm MTU, I'm down there talking about how we can stop giving up these first kills as they're really impacting this game, and they need to find a way to try and work together and or create like a more of a pincer if they're not able to win these like one-on-one duels.
I notice how Harrisburg's aggressive strategy is very working a lot here on attack and defense, because on defense they even push up and MTU can't really push into them because they're waiting. So they play very aggressive on both sides of the game.
Yeah, it's not it is by no means a common play style. This is more of something I don't see that often, but when I do see it, it can be very strong if they know how to play it correctly, and it seems like Harrisburg does. So MTU just needs to find a way to try and change the pace of this game to play more to their style, which it seems to be slower than Harrisburg. If they can slow this game down, they can easily make a comeback here. And then, and we're starting right into game 2. And so starting on the MTU side, it looks like we have, as you can see, we have QWERTY, our captain, Henry, starting on the Vice. An interesting pick here. One of the, released 3 characters ago. One of the newer characters, a very interesting kit. With her abilities, she can kind of stop people from using their primary gun or their best gun, can put up walls, can really create a lot of site pressure and hold a site extremely well. So I think that's their way that MTU is trying to play through this really fast Harrisburg playstyle. Is going to be try and stop them from getting out of sight as quickly, and kind of force them into a slower game that MTU is better at playing.
Looks like Harrisburg's going with a 5-man rush C here. MTU's only got 2 people there. They need to quickly rotate.
And Harrisburg picking up the first kill onto QWERTY very quickly. Just like that, we no longer have control of sight. Neon looking at fast swing. Huso picks up 2. We get the frag back, but it's now a 1v4 for Sting. Will he be able to win these? Omen's close. Hears him, but unfortunately he's not able to pick up the kill. And just like that, Harrisburg takes round 1 of map 2.
Again, we see that aggressive playstyle coming out from Harrisburg, and it's working really well for him.
Yeah, Harrisburg is still, like, even with MTU trying to slow this game down, they're still finding the ways to make it, take fast fights and fast advantageous fights. They're really trying to get onto these sites before MTU's players are able to rotate from whatever site they're on to where Harrisburg is trying to attack.
Looks like MTU's going for a very aggressive play here. Looks like they'll meet right on A site, or right in the middle.
Yeah, it looks like MTU's apparently, guys, stop trying to take the slow fight and is trying to take a fast fight of their own. Just like that, Huso picks up 3 kills.
Dang.
He picks up the 4th.
Can he
Will he be able to find the ace? And he does find the ace. Huso with an incredible play here. Just finding all 5 kills right off the start.
I can tell Huso has the confidence of a great player, because he's not scared to take those fights in duels.
Yeah. Huso just likes to play this really aggressive. Makes sense with the Neon. Neon's abilities likes to go fast. She has a stun. She has movement. The faster she gets in and the more off-put the Harrisburg can make MTU, the better.
On top of that, she has a lot of util backup for her with the brimstone shockwaves and smokes. Makes her setup really good.
Yeah. Once again, or actually MTU finding the first kill with Super Electronic finding it onto Huso. So Huso will not be getting 2 aces in a row. But when now MTU trying to play this a little bit slower, but still look for the aggressive flank. Finds the flank, actually. Harrisburg takes the site, and now it's 3v3. Will MTU be able to retake the site as Harrisburg now has control of it?
Little shooting through the smoke going on.
They're trying to find a kill, trying to find a way to retake this site. Shoop does find the kill. It's now a 3v2 for MTU. Will they get another frag, 2v1? Will they be able to get this kill and then defuse the bomb? And it looks like they will be able to.
Nice retake from MTU there.
Yeah, extremely well played by MTU.
I noticed they played together there more and it worked out for them. Took slow fights and peeked the same angles as their teammates. And it worked.
Yeah, they changed their style. Just how University Images can change your style. If you're looking to spice up your style, University Images is your official headquarters for authentic Michigan Tech Huskies apparel. It's university owned, university operated, and it's University Images located at the SDC here at Michigan Tech University. But once again, Michigan Tech looking for a really aggressive, or keeping 3 people on A, trying to stop Harrisburg from doing an aggressive take on it, as it looks like they're trying to do. Will MTU be able to make the stop again? Sping looking for shots to the smoke, trying to find a miracle kill, as it would put MTU in a great spot to hold this.
Looks like all the fighting is happening on A site and B site here. Nobody's really pushing C, so I think a rotate would be good here.
Yeah, Harrisburg actually broke open the door between A and B site. It looks like they're trying to do a fast take onto B now. They actually do go onto it, get the pick onto QWERTY, and just like that, they have control of B site. Now MTU will have to do a retake, basically meaning they're attacking now, and I don't know how they're gonna play it. I'm assuming they're gonna try and walk through the door the same as they did. But Harrisburg is finding all the kills, and they don't know what the player behind, and the flanking Harrisburg player does get a kill. It's now forced into a 2v3. And just like that, it's down to a 1v3 for Super Electronic of MTU. Will he be able to win this? It's going to be a very hard duel. And unfortunately, he's not able to win, and Harrisburg picks up another map point. Very well played by them. I really like this, the rotate they did between the A and B sites on this map. Because of that door that you're able to shoot open and break, you can rotate between the sites. And once they realized that Michigan Tech has 3 people on the A site, that means at max they could have 2 people on the B. And you'd much rather fight less than more.
That was a great flank by Harrisburg there. MTU, there's 2 players. MTU didn't know about the Harrisburg flank, and he managed to pick up a kill.
Yeah, picking up staying behind on that flank and picking up that kill puts Harrisburg in a great spot, especially because that player can give his team the intel about the other MTU player walking through, so they know where MTU is going to be playing. Now, MTU looking to play a slower game, not doing the fast troll on A here. Looking to more of a retake as their weaponry is worse because of these lost rounds.
Harrisburg pushing out here on the A site.
And just like that, Harrisburg has picked up 2 kills. 1 in mid, 1 on the A site. And now Sting knows the Neon or Huso is right around this wall. Will he be able to take it? Might have heard him drop. Might have heard him take the rope back up. Finds a great kill. But unfortunately gets traded out, and just like that, it's back to a 1v3 for QWERTY on the Michigan Tech side. If I'm in his position, I'm not even trying to fight this. I'm just trying to save the gun. If you live through the round, you keep your weaponry. But unfortunately, he tries to take the swing, gets picked off, and just like that, MTU's lost a little bit of money. But I can understand they're down 4-1 now. You want to try and win as many of these rounds early as possible. You really don't want to give Harrisburg momentum, as momentum is really big in shooter games. All right, once again, MTU looking for, they're starting 2 people on C actually, only leaving, 2 people C, 1 person B, 2 on A. Normal 2-1-2 split again. Harrisburg looking to do an aggressive take on A as they're sending 5 people onto A here. Probably gonna try and do like a really fast hit, pick off the MTU players before they're able to rotate to back up their teammates. Triple Electronic holding on the rotating door, tries to get some wallbang kills. All the utils being used on him, and he's unfortunately just unable to see, cannot get those kills.
Yeah,
Sting also getting traded.
It was like a 1v4 for him. Not much he could do there.
Shoop using the Omen ult, trying to teleport behind Harrisburg, may try and find this flank to get the picks. QWERTY and SpongeBob getting traded here. So we're in a 2v4 situation for Michigan Tech, trying to retake as Harrisburg is planted the bomb, meaning they're on a 30-second, or currently a 30-second timer. Trying to play it slow, trying to find these kills. Huso picks up a kill on QWERTY, and just like that, Shoop is in a 1v4 for MTU and is unable to find the kills. And Harrisburg picks up another dominant round win.
I noticed the breach on Harrisburg's team is very well suited for their playstyle because breach has a lot of utility that can get them onto site fast along with the neon, so it's a good combination to get them going fast.
Yeah, it seems from what I saw that round, like Neon has a sprint ability that allows her to get onto site fast. In Breach, is a character that when he can use a shockwave, basically that can go through walls and stun enemies. And when you're stunned, your aim is a little bit more shaky, and you can't shoot as many shots. It kind of slows your rate of fire, meaning it's very hard to win the 1v1s when you're hit by that Breach utility. All right. MTU starting with, looks like only one player on A. Or, no, it's two players on A. Harrisburg doing another fast 5-man attack onto A.
It's like a fast rotate from MTU, already getting 4 players over there. Harrisburg's backing out to B site, looks like.
Breach using his ult to try and attack B site here. Well, it gets the pick onto Shoop that was hit by it. Not much you can do, as once I said, it's stun. It's sort of like the stun type thing for on players hit, so MTU just didn't really have a shot.
Already has a bomb down for Harrisburg.
Yeah, MTU was in a 3v4. QWERTY finds a kill, so we're in a 3v5. QWERTY finds a kill, now in a 3v4. Very winnable here. Neon sliding in, unable to get the double kill. 2v3 for Michigan Tech. Now 1v3, and QWERTY just probably really doesn't have the HP for this. But he finds a very good one-tap. Will he be able to get these last 2 kills? And unfortunately, he's not able to.
Those trades are very useful, even if he only gets 1, because it still messes up their economy a little bit.
Yeah. As I said earlier, when you die, you don't keep your gun from that round. So just getting these kills, trying to mess up the Harrisburg economy, trying to get them not all on Vandals or Phantoms, which are like kind of just like the main guns you want as a one-shot to the head in this game at certain distances. And so trying to find these trades, trying to mess it up. Because MTU hasn't been buying their main guns, they've been buying cheaper guns, they're able to afford full buys here, best guns, best armor, meaning they do have a fair shot at winning this round again.
M2 with the operator, which is a sniper that one-shots at any part of the body. It's a very expensive gun, so let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, trying to hold this long angle onto A. Vice using her ult to try and find that player, unable to do so though. Is he able to find the shot? No, unfortunately, the op does not find the one shot. As when a shot goes through a wall, it will do less damage. Harrisburg able to get the spike planted, but MTU picking up 2, 3 kills, 4 kills, Shoop getting 3, and just like that, Super Electronic picks up the final kill, and MTU gets a flawless round.
That's gotta be a morale.
Oh. Okay, so not a flawless round. Unfortunately, MTU killed another MTU player, but you know, sometimes you just want to have fun.
Must have had some teammate issues there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I hear some yelling behind me of killing your teammate, but you know, right now, things just happen sometimes.
Now we wait.
Very winnable by MTU, only down 4 rounds.
Yeah, MTU already having more rounds won on this map than they did on the entirety of the last one, so already in a better spot than they were previously.
I'm sure their confidence has come back after that win too. They're all 5.
Yeah, the confidence is definitely going to be back for MTU here, as well as the momentum that Harrisburg has is definitely slowed down. Not being able to get these fast round wins, realizing that they're not an unbeatable force, has really changed the way they play. Unfortunately, Shoop doing an aggressive swing to try and get a trade is unable to do so, and it puts MTU down in a 4v5. Now they just kind of have to play it slow. They have to give up the site here, which is not something you normally want to do, but Super Electronic is not able to kill 5 people by himself until his team gets here, so he has to back up.
Super Electronic with the op, it's going to be hard to do a retake with those close angles, considering he has a sniper.
Yeah, but by now, it's now a 3v5 for MTU. They have rotated all to this site, so they definitely can find kills here, possibly win this round. Unfortunately, Super Electronic goes down to Huso on the Neon, meaning that most likely, they might try and send a flank, which it looks like in the top left, you look at the map, the Neon is trying to flank. SpongeBob picks up a kill on the site. gets traded out though, and just like that, Sting
Behind.
finds two. He might hear the Neon flanking behind him, but there's still the one player on site that he has to kill before killing. Unfortunately, the shot just doesn't line up, as the crosshair was correct, but when you're moving, the accuracy isn't perfect, and the shot just barely misses.
Very good try from Sting there, finding the 2 kills. Last person alive for his team.
Yeah, if Sting finds that final kill, if you just manage to stop his momentum any sooner, or maybe gets like that movement kill, it's a very winnable round for MTU, but unfortunately, it just wasn't on his side that time. And now, looking at the split from MTU, it looks like they have 3 people on A, 1 on B, 1 on C. So they're thinking that Harrisburg is going to go for an aggressive A take, but and actually, if you look at the map, they're looking at aggressive C take, meaning that Super Electronic is in a 1v5 here, but he does have the Viper ult. As long as he stays in this ult, it'll stay up indefinitely, and it's extremely hard for them to walk into, but Taunt finds the kill onto Super Electronic, canceling that Viper ult, and just like that, they don't have control of site anymore.
MTU's looking to retake again.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Qwerty trying to get some shots, Qwerty and Sting both trying to get shots. Shoop finds a flank, now a 4v4. Very winnable round for MTU if they can find a couple more of these kills and get that spike defused. But they are on a time crunch here, as that spike will detonate soon.
Shoop finds 2.
Shoop finds 3. And SpongeBob finds a headshot through the wall, and just like that, they do an
4.
aggressive swing.
Can he get the ace?
Unfortunately, does not get the ace, but that will be, I believe, a round win for MTU if they get this spike defuse off, which they do have time for. A great flank from Shoop there, finding 4 kills.
That was a great pinch, because while Shoop was flanking, MTU started to push in, and Harrisburg was kind of pinched and didn't know where to turn.
Yeah, so like when I was talking earlier about like trying to find these like pinch angles where maybe you don't want to have 5 people like swinging through like one sort of hallway. If you can swing from 2 different hallways between them, they kind of have to choose which fight they want to take, or at least split their attention, of which they did. Harrisburg was fully focused on the main core of MTU, and Shoop is just able to find that flank that they don't know about and get 4 kills.
Looks like both teams are stacking A here. Looks like a big brawl.
Yeah, MTU actually doing a 4-man stack on A with 1 on C, leaving B completely open, gambling that they don't try to take it. And their gamble pays off, Shoop finding 1 kill already. But it's, what's it called? The fade ult coming out from Harrisburg, marking all the players so they can see where they're at, and they probably get 2 kills off of it. Now, MTU in a 3v4 position, will they be able to hold this site? And actually, Harrisburg is rotated off A onto B, knowing that the MTU players are still on A. They should get a free spike plant here, putting MTU in a very bad spot. Qwerty looking to get aggressive through the smoke? Maybe not. Trying to wait for his team, swing together, try and force them to look at one player while the other 2 get the free shot. Harrisburg, though, set up on 4 different angles, trying to do the same thing. Fade finding her orb to pull in the other players and mark where they're at. Ian getting a pick onto Qwerty. Now they know both players are up here for Michigan Tech, and Harrisburg gets the final 2 kills, finishing the round in a pretty dominant fashion.
Last round before the switch.
Alright, Harrisburg is up 8-3. This is the last round before MTU gets to have their chance at attacking, and Harrisburg moves on to the defense. Hopefully MTU's economy is still strong enough to get these full buys, but looking at the build some of them have, they don't actually have the full economy to buy like their best kits, which means they're gonna be at a disadvantage here already. But this is still a relatively even defender to attacking map, so there is definitely ways for MTU to win here.
Harrisburg rushing A here with only MTU's 2 players on site.
Yeah, the Viper wall goes up from MTU, and now they're trying to take shots through it, try and get a miracle pick.
The breach ult coming in. Hard rush A by Harrisburg.
Harrisburg with 4 people already on the A, finding the kill. SpongeBob getting the refrag though. It's now a 4v4, but Harrisburg does have control of point. With the spike being planted, once it's planted, they have 40 seconds. Shoop unfortunately getting picked off by the Neon. Getting refragged by SpongeBob though. Great shot. Now a 3v3. About 30 seconds remaining for MTU to get this kill and get that spike defused. Seems like SpongeBob knows that people are close. Unfortunately, gets shot out of the sky. Great shot by Taunt here.
Now
and
1v3 for the MTU team.
Qwerty in a 1v3 with a shotgun. Finds 1. Is he able to find the second? But Harrisburg is backing up knowing that he's on a time crunch and he's just unable to get those final kills. And Harrisburg picks up a 9-3, or picks up the lead 9-3 going through the first half. All right, now looking at the score, from my little knowledge of Valorant, there is something called the 9-3 curse. And meaning that it's kind of a running joke in the Valorant community, meaning that the team that usually gets to 9 doesn't usually win. Which doesn't really make sense, but it's something that the community spoke on, and I've personally had it happen to me. So, well, we'll see if MTU can make this 9-3 curse reality. All right, MTU looking for a split between A and B. Harrisburg getting really aggressive through B. They find a 1-for-1 trade. MTU now full swinging through A. Harrisburg all flanking. I wonder if MTU knows that there's no one on A site here. Using a lot of utility to check.
One MTU player staying behind for the flank.
Yeah, one player on A cleared it. I'm assuming now MTU will get the spike down, and then it'll be a 4v4 where they are defending again. Sting unfortunately getting picked off, meaning MTU is in a 3v4 situation. Finding another, MTU put in a 2v4 situation. They hear all the players, and now Shoop is put in a 1v4. Will he be able to win it? Picks up one. Spike's still down. Keith might be able to find these kills, and he's just unable to, as the Neon baits the shot, and then Vice picks up the kill.
Those clutches in the pistol round are a lot harder to manage because you can't really one-shot anybody, so it's a very even fair gunfight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Harrisburg is up 10-3 in they're very dominant fashion, actually. They've just been playing everything really well as a team, finding these swings, finding the kills they need to win. And it's just not the greatest situation for MTU, but all they need is that momentum change. If I get a couple of kills at the beginning of the round, don't get traded, force maybe a 5v4, 5v3, and just like that, MTU can pick up more map wins.
I'm out of here.
Harrisburg looking at an aggressive swing through A, keeping their really aggressive playstyle. MTU being really passive in their spawn, knowing that they want to do these aggressive swings.
Huso showing off his confidence there.
Yeah. He likes getting really aggressive. He believes in his gun skill. And so far, it's paid off for them. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Once again, Huso looks for the aggressive picks. Finds one. Is he able to find more? Finds two, but gets picked off. A 2-for-1 trade, though, is really good for Harrisburg here. MTU forced in a disadvantaged position. And finding all 3 kills consecutively and ending the round and putting Harrisburg up 11-3. I'm interested to see how MTU is going to try and attack this, as now it's the 3rd round of their attack, and they should be able to buy full guns here. So they should be a pretty even matchup. If anything, maybe the advantage falls in MTU, as Harrisburg doesn't want to waste the money they have right now when they already have middle tier guns. So MTU should be able to find a round win here if they play this correctly as a team.
Harrisburg with a hard flank. I'm not sure if MTU knows yet. They pulled back from the flank. Meeting them on B site here.
Yeah, MTU looking for a really aggressive swing onto the C site. Well, with the Fade abilities, they should know that there's at least one person on the C site. They hear people walking around B, opening the door. Will they be able to find the trades? Unfortunately, MTU is put in a 3v5 situation. Finds one, finds two, finds 3. Great spray from SpongeBob, finding 3 kills, forcing them back into that advantage position. And then MTU looking that rotate off C, because they know that's one of the players they haven't killed. It's still on that C site. I mean, there has to be one player somewhere else on the map. So if they can find that one player by themselves, that'll be the best case for them to win here.
Harrisburg kind of Omens player camping A site here, looking to get intel. Nothing yet. Looks like they're pushing B.
Ian finding a swing, getting the pick, forcing it into a 2v2 now. MTU is getting the spike plant down. Unfortunately, has to cancel it because they're scared of getting swung. And Harrisburg coming back and winning the 2v3. Great shots by Ian, looking that aggressive swing, getting the 1 kill, and then hiding, waiting for his team to get there to force the 2v2 in a fair fight.
Great play from SpongeBob with the 3K, but can't manage to get all 5.
Yeah. Just trying to see, as it comes down to match point, actually, for Harrisburg, as they one more, it wins them the game, and I believe the series. So we'll see what MTU can do if they can pull off this pretty much reverse sweep.
So going in again. MTU can shoot him through the wall.
Yeah, MTU trying to get shots to the wall. Do get some hits onto Huso, taking him low. Find more hits onto the breach as well, getting him low. Currently, MTU's actually in a pretty good spot. They got damage on 3 players. It should be pretty easy to find these kills. As now, it should only take really 1 body shot for a couple of them, but Ian gets a great shot, forcing the advantage back into the favor of Harrisburg.
MTU playing it slow here, looking for picks before they rush on the site.
Redundant.
Finds one.
Yeah, MTU in a 3v4 here, trying to take 3 players from Harrisburg are 1 HP though. If 1 body shot could get the kill, and that could easily win MTU the round. They just need to find that 1 shot. Unfortunately, Huso finds a pick onto Sting, forcing into a 2v4 for MTU in match point.
Bomb is down. I think Harrisburg knows that.
Yeah, MTU just trying to play it slow, see if Harrisburg tries to continue their playstyle of being extremely aggressive, maybe find the kills they try to walk through the smoke. But Harrisburg playing it slow, realizing that this is still a very losable round, and that time is on their side with 18 seconds left. Harrisburg gets 1 kill, QWERTY backs it up, or gets 1 as well. He's in a 1v3 now. Is he able to find this kill?
Only 10 seconds to plant the bomb. He should get it down quick.
Looking aggressive swing. Here's 1 player jump behind him and is unable to get it.
Harrisburg takes the win.
Harrisburg goes up 2-0, unfortunately.
You can see in that map, Harrisburg's strategy didn't really change with the aggressive plays and play style, and MTU just gets caught off guard with that.
But yeah, if at any point you've enjoyed this stream or want to see any of the other games, we'll be live at the times shown. And then if you ever want to see our past VODs, you can usually find them on YouTube under MTU Esports. But unfortunately, the MTU goes down 2-0 in this match. Not what we wanted to see from MTU to start, but hopefully as time progresses they can figure out their issues that they ran into today and then come back and finish the rest of the season strong. And then once again, I would like to say thank you to shout out University Images and Broadway Enterprises, as Houghton for Rent is a great spot to find your housing here in Houghton, and they're a dear friend of our program here, as well as University Images. If you ever need your tech apparel, that's the place to go to here in the SDC.
In fact, I'm looking for an apartment here next year, so I might have to go to HoughtonForRent.com also.
Yeah, I might end up doing the same. And then personally, you can never have enough tech gear, so I think I might need to go stop by University Images and pick up some new sweatshirt, maybe a new t-shirt, maybe some sweats. Maybe rep full MTU gear, as we love MTU here at MTU.
Can't support them enough.
But yeah, unfortunately, that game just didn't go MTU's way. They lose 2-0. Harrisburg playing extremely strong, playing to their strengths extremely well, knowing that they like to play fast. That's what they did, and MTU just wasn't able to adapt in time. They got towards at the end, they started figuring out how to stop it, but it was just too little too late.
Some great plays coming out from Huso. Got some other Harrisburg players there, and then SpongeBob, even though they lost, had some very good plays.
Yeah, so as we saw, we had Huso got his ace. Shoop actually picking up a 4K, almost having his ace, but unfortunately isn't able to find it before his teammate gets the kill. There's some great plays in that match. It was extremely fun to watch and cast for me personally.
Me too.
And I think that's all we're gonna have for the Valorant match today. So thank you for joining us. This has been MTU Esports. I was Chris, joined by
Jacob. Thank you guys.
And then check out the Houghton for Rent, check out the MTU Esports YouTube, and check out University Images if you ever need your MTU apparel.